Hey folks! Live events are becoming can't-miss spectacles, complete with dynamic lighting, video content, special effects, and more, all combining to form endless possibilities. And in 426, DMX-controlled lighting and effects can be pre-visualized right in Unreal Engine. Get a free front-row ticket to the future of live event production. Grab the new DMX sample project, created in collaboration with multimedia powerhouse Moment Factory. Then go backstage and discover how we put it all together. Ready, set, go to Unreal Build Automotive. Hosted from the Epic Games London Labs, you'll get a sneak peek at the next-gen projects fueling innovation at BMW, Volkswagen, Pagani, and other major automakers in this free virtual event, taking place on March 23rd. Drive over to the event page and register today. Side Effects announced that Houdini Engine for UE4 will soon be available for free. The plugin gives commercial artists and studios the ability to widely deploy procedural assets for use in game and XR development, virtual production, and design visualizations, and now without worrying about running out of Houdini Engine licenses. Learn more about Houdini Engine for UE4 at sideeffects.com/unreal. Thanks to the ingenuity of former park ranger and geoscientist Blaise Lasala, and a little help from Unreal Engine, you can experience the awe-inspiring caves of U.S. national parks from the comfort of your own home. Head to the Unreal Engine feed to experience these natural wonders for yourself. Want to learn how to create mixed reality experiences for the Microsoft HoloLens 2? In our latest webinar, we cover look development, common UX components, and how to deploy to a HoloLens 2. Watch the complete presentation on the Unreal Engine YouTube channel and quickly create your own enterprise application or AR game. And now for this week's top weekly karma earners. Huge shoutouts to Every Nun, Clockwork Ocean, Fatal Break, Luna Nellis, Crew Dimer, E. Lawald, Jay Savage, Hakaishin 0895, Kahel18, and John Antonio. Popping over to our community spotlights, Hong Kong indie team Act Plus Studios' first demo for The Legend of Carl is now available. Explore a diabolical world while fighting for justice in the 2.5D hack-and-slash platformer. Head to the forums to share your feedback with the new team. Next up is a gorgeous automotive cinematic by Damian Belinsky called The Quest. This scene showcases ray tracing tech magnificently. Visit their art station to see loads of incredible auto scenes. Last up, enjoy this outstanding detailed outpost, now taken over by goblins. Stephen Hong created everything in the fully realized scene other than a couple small particle effects and a statue. See more of this beautiful piece on Stephen's ArtStation page. Thanks for watching this week's News and Community Spotlight.
Hi everyone, and welcome to another episode of Inside Unreal, a weekly show where we learn, explore, and celebrate everything Unreal. I'm your host, Victor Broden, and my guests today are people, I was going to say, but developers, artists, creatives from the team of OnPoint Studios. Please welcome Niklas Bothe, Head of Studio, Kevin Clare, Facial Animation Supervisor, as well as Mariam Woller, Virtual Production Supervisor. Welcome to the show. Today we're going to talk a little bit about the awesome virtual production, live theater, virtual performance that you're producing at OnPoint Studios. And without further ado, I'm just going to head it over to you, Niklas.
Yeah, thank you so much, Victor, for having us. It's very exciting for us to finally be able to share this publicly, this passion project that we've been working on for quite some time. Yeah, thank you everybody for joining us here. What you're about to see is a 1-minute sneak peek of this virtual theater performance we're working on. Please keep in mind, everything you're about to see is being live recorded right at this moment in the studio here in Berlin, Germany. And yeah, without further ado, enjoy the show.
Yeah, no luck this time. I'm on my way back to the ship now. It just sucks to come back empty-handed, you know? But you can tell Bob to start cooking because, oh man, am I craving his lasagna. Yeah, so. Oh, wait a second. I might have something here.
Allie, the mission's a bust. Get off planet ASAP.
It'll just take a sec. Hey, little guy. Oh, you're fascinating. Okay, so I finally have something. It looks kind of like a caterpillar, but obviously I'm gonna have to get it back to the
shuttle. That storm's got us blind.
Okay, I'm on my way. Jeez, Allie out. Hey there, buddy. Oh, man. Okay, I'm not gonna hurt you. I am gonna grab you, though, because... Hello? Hello? Sure. Yeah, no luck this time. I'm on my way back to the ship now. It just sucks to come back empty-handed, you know? I mean, you can tell Bob to start cooking because, oh man, am I really craving his lasagna. So, wait a minute. I might actually have something here.
Allie, the mission's a bust. Get off planet ASAP.
It'll just take a sec. Hey, little guy. Oh, you're fascinating. Okay, so I finally have something. It looks kind of like a caterpillar, but obviously I'm gonna have to get it.
Shuttle. That storm's got us blind.
Okay, I'm on my way. Jeez. Allie out.
Just keep going, guys.
Okay. From the top or from here?
There you go, Niklas. Sorry about that. Please go
Perfect.
ahead.
No worries at all. As I was saying, the nature of working live. Apologies for the small technical hiccup. That's just the way it goes. We've been rehearsing for days now, and everything worked perfectly. But of course, you know how it is. We're just gonna run it again. We do a slight variation to save a bit of time. Keyword now is urgency for Amanda, so she's got to be improvising a bit. Hopefully, this proves that all of this is happening right now. And yeah, enjoy our second try. Have fun.
Three days I've been on this planet. You want to know what it's done? Every single one of those 3 days, it's rained. Yeah, loads of plants. Don't see any creatures at all. I don't even know how this is... Wait a second. Oh my god. I think I've actually found something.
Get off planet ASAP.
Oh, I'm sorry. Now you're in a rush to get me off this planet? Not 2 days ago when I said there was nothing here and now they're actually... Never mind. It's fine. Because I found you. Yeah. Okay, come on. Oh, all right. Oh, you're gorgeous.
Allie, head back to the shuttle. That storm's got us blind.
Okay, fine. I'm on my way, all right. I'm out. Yeah, you don't have to deal with him. He kind of sucks. But also, don't worry about the lab I'm taking you to. It's a really nice lab, I promise. Time to go, buddy.
That's super cool. Thank you all for showing us that.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Yeah, maybe Amanda, you want to come in real quick and give a little,
Chat,
get a
please give
little of the
applause for
well-deserved credit.
the actress.
Amazing job despite the circumstances. Yeah. As you can see, this whole workflow is not really 100% safe, but that's also what makes it very exciting for us. Hopefully, this second improvised version, was kind of able to show how easy it is to adapt and overcome. If you have to save time, okay, we just do another take and speed it up a little. I would like to take it from here and take you a bit through, well, the whole product as a whole. I mean, what we're trying to achieve with it and what we're doing exactly. And yeah, get a bit more technical after that. So,
Sounds good. You're good to go. Floor is yours, Niklas.
awesome. Thank you. So, what is this cargo thing we've been working on? Basically, it's a virtual production showcase. The main drive for us to work on it was to take these techniques and workflows that we work on for different client projects and put it into one concise thing that we can use to, to work and improve on these methods. Basically, it's a live streamed 5-minute CG short story that that we use to promote our skills and our knowledge. We have the fully performance captured protagonist, so we have face, finger, and body capture all at the same time. We stream that into the Unreal Engine and basically treat the captured person like a game character. So there's colliders, there's dynamic events. I'm gonna go into that a little bit later, but that's basically the idea. What we want to do with it is not necessarily establish a new medium or something like that. It's more for us, as I said, a vehicle to drive, progress and to explore new ways of creating content, to make it possible for creatives on set to be immersed in their own words that they crafted, and to be able to produce content in this way. Not all the workflows and things we come up with for this demo are gonna apply to every project, but yeah, we just hope we think we just scratched the surface with all this live streaming and engine game engine style stuff, and yeah, we just keep pushing. Right. The full performance will be online later this year. We're super busy right now, so it's a bit hard for us to tell when exactly that's gonna happen. But I want to give you like a little bit of the story so you can have a better idea of what you just saw. So yeah, story is a space science fiction-y horror short movie. Ellie is our main protagonist, is a space zoologist. Kevin really likes that term. Who's on a mission in space to basically catalog and collect all possible aliens. They all get stored on one space station, and I guess most people can guess where this is going. Basically, Jurassic Park in space. And we went for this premise and for this very simple to understand concept because we knew from the get go it's going to be very short. We want people to, start watching it in the middle of it and still roughly understand what's going on. So that's totally by design. And I think that's about it for this presentation. So next, I want to bring up a bit of stuff from the past. I need to leave the live mode for this to a older project. So what you're seeing here is our CES demo. this was called The Cave and was basically the first step on this journey. We had the situation that we had people in Las Vegas promoting basically Nexa, the main company we are a part of. And we were asked to do like a little showcase ourselves. So we were eager to create something really cool. And this is what we came up with. Let me just really quickly start up the scene. Yeah, so basically we use the OptiTrack plugin for this to stream the character into the engine. And we used these really cool assets from the asset store that anybody can get really to fill their world with content. To come up with this little demo. And while we were building this, usually it was about being able to remote stream the data to Las Vegas from Berlin, which is a cool thing and meant we had to stay up very late. But it was also here where we realized, okay, this is a really cool opportunity to play around with the in-game mechanics of stuff. So all I did, sorry, I get the game sound, it's very loud. Hope you guys don't hear it. All I did is put a collider on the foot of the knight and basically have the environment react to that. So yeah, this is a concept we call the virtual stage, basically, an interactive stage, which means that tracked objects or tracked people cause events in the environment. Right, we have a little guest showing up at this point. Okay. All right, but who wants to know how that ends, right? Anyway, this was basically the first step towards the showcase. And yeah, I'm going to show a few, I can't even call it technical details because it's not that deep technical. But yeah, just some of the stuff I brought up.
Niklas, what was the software that's getting all the motion capture data?
A very good point, sorry. This is OptiTrack Motive. I meant to talk about that too, but I can also address it now. So as you guys can see, hopefully we have a 36 camera OptiTrack setup here in Berlin, like a 7 times 9 meters volume, which is medium sized. The good thing about the architecture in here, which kind of forces us to adhere to these ranges, is that we have pretty stable and pretty precise tracking going on, which is something that enables us to to do these live setups in general. Also, huge shout out to the OptiTrack support team, because during the CES last year we were running into some real difficulties. These kind of connections that I just showed, they are usually designed for local machines or network exchange of data, but we use it through a VPN, and obviously that was not it took some help from the OptiTrack team, which they provided, and they really saved us there. So big thank you to the team. Right, and so much for that. Right, I was about to get into the setup of my knight real quick. Super simple, just to really drive that point home. Basically has a collider on his foot, right? The whole character has a tag, and when I open the scene, whoop, can you still hear me?
Yeah, you could.
Cool. You can see that there's like a collider object waiting for exactly that collision to happen, and then it would just start an event in my event manager. This is usually how I do these things. I just have one blueprint that kind of manages all these things that are supposed to happen, which is tricky sometimes if you use streaming levels because of the referencing. But yeah, that's pretty much all there is. It's really simple. I mean, it was the first thing we did, to be fair. Yeah, and this is the kind of stuff we started with. Also, the colliders on the hand, I used that to have some finger animations. We didn't have our fancy gloves back then, but Kevin is going to talk about that more later. Basically, when he grabs a sword or the torch, I think that's even in here. Yeah, it's exact same way I'm doing it, right? So really no rocket science. Yeah, that was a really cool project. Also great is that we could ship that build and have it like started in VR or not. So each guest in Vegas could, choose what kind of performance or demonstration they prefer, and we didn't have too much trouble with doing different builds and stuff like that. Cool. Let me check if I wanted to show something else here. No, that's pretty much it for this one, I think. So yeah, really cool to be able, to use these assets from the market store also when we have clients who want to do Unreal projects. A lot of the time, it's just really easy to get something going that works for them, and yeah, it's just great to have this opportunity and these amazing artworks at your disposal as somebody who can fill it with performance. Right. So I'm not going to close this just in case I need it later. And I'm just going to keep talking about the scene you just saw. So a number of things going on here. Mariam will talk a bit about the camera and the environment later. I wanted to talk about technical stuff. For example, events and how we handle them usually. This is also not very complicated. Basically, there's two kind of things that can happen, or two kind of triggers, I should say, that can cause events in the world. The first one is an input event, so that means we press a button on a gamepad or a keyboard, or using the fancy new API. The other way it's triggered is by the actor or a prop colliding with something, right? So we have input events and triggered events. And yeah, a good example for the input event is the caterpillar wake up in the beginning. This is actually probably not going to work, but to have it wake up, that's a button input. You can also change its color based on what values you put in and stuff. So it's just really cool to have this opportunity to mix these gameplay style, scripts with actual performances. Right, sounds in general usually are input events if they're not bound to like a specific dynamic event we trigger. A really cool dynamic event I'm a bit proud of, to be honest, is the footsteps. I'm still working on this, so it's not what it can be, but yeah, that's obviously a huge problem. When we did our very first demos, we had people like tipping the buttons to try and match the people's steps. So we needed a solution there. And a very simplistic approach I used for this is to have two colliders on the foot to basically try and catch when the foot is really solidly planted. A lot of people are, going to think, what are you doing? There's probably a million better ways of doing it. That's my way, and it works kind of okay-ish so far. Yeah, and I'm looking forward to use more sophisticated systems for the actual showcase, where we will hopefully be able to have amount of rotation in the bones to use Foley audio, because that's what really drives it when people interact and stuff. So this is one of many things I'm looking to improve on for the final showcase. Right. Other than that, yeah, she can open a visor dynamically. Uh, sometimes it works better than other times, let's say. Yeah, and we have quite a lot of stuff going on with her, actually. There's a focus target actor on her that helps the camera, to get the right focus no matter how far she's away. So we don't need to do manual focus pulling if it's avoidable. And yeah, in general, there's a lot going on here. I also wanted to quickly point out her animation blueprint. I mean, not sure if I can show this. There's a lot going on here. We have the AR kit workflow mixed with the live link from Motion Builder workflow. Maybe I can show this real quick. Yeah, unfortunately, it takes me a second.
That's okay.
There you are.
Just want to let chat know that Kevin and Mariam will be diving into the technology used for the face and some more of the motion capture right after Niklas.
Yeah, exactly. All right. So yeah, I'm just gonna bring this over real quick. So just maybe to say a word about how we stream the motion data directly into the engine. There's several ways of doing it. And currently I'm leaning more towards the live link way of doing it. The reason being really retargeting quality. So, right, if I put this in, we should already be able to see that in the, in the animation blueprint. Yeah, and this kind of connection is just fantastic. It's really cool for us. It's great for content cleanup. When I do like promo material for this whole thing, I just really play the scene in Motion Builder while I edit it and see it live in Engine. So there's really no better way as an animator, I feel, to see where you're going with something. And in general, this whole live link workflow gives us a lot of options. Yeah, there's the visor, that's pretty easy. And honestly, I'm not even sure what this does. Okay. But to maybe finish on this whole motion capture streaming topic, we basically have two workflows. I already talked about the Motion Builder Live Link one. What's great about that one is with the human IK, you always get a pretty solid retargeting. You have IK options, which in our case is super important. We need the hand of the actress and the hand of the character to be at the same place so she can accurately interact with other tracked things or persons. And also, you have just a ton of fine-tuning options and roll bones and stuff. The contra of the Motion Builder Live Link, the con of the Motion Builder Live Link workflow is that it's always retargeted to a specific character, so that takes time, right? Every time you want to drive, except you're using the same character with the same hierarchy, it takes time to set it up properly, but you get the better quality. While on the other hand, the OptiTrack plugin workflow directly from Motive, what we used with the CES demo, I feel this one is great to do scene scouting. It's great that you only need to press one button and you get unlabeled markers directly into the engine. So that is really helpful if we're trying to find distances between several things. You can just, do it that way. It's super helpful. And also, since the bone remapping is not character specific, you can animate any character with anybody in the volume pretty quickly. So yeah, OptiTrack plugin I feel is great for getting something to run fast and for scouting. You can certainly make it work better. But the Motion Builder Live Link one, especially for me, somebody who's done a lot of editing in Motion Builder as well, it's where I feel like I have more control. Right. But in the future, we are actually hoping to go a different route and focusing more on the control rig and its ability to interact with incoming motion capture data. So yeah, this is ideally where we want to take it. We want to can just leave this running so it's not completely standstill. Yeah, we want to get to a point where the control rig is just taking the incoming animation data, retargeting it for us, and we can then, in a perfect world, just use the take recorder to record any performance and then edit it in Engine. That would be a dream come true, and we're working towards finding these workflows and setting everything up to be able to work this way in the future. Cool. I think that's mostly it for me. For now, I just hand it over to Kevin, aka the good-looking Max Payne, and thank you for listening. And talk to you later.
Thanks a lot, Niklas.
Okay, hi. So yeah, I'm Kevin. I'm a facial capture specialist here at OnPoint Studios. I'm in charge of our facial capture pipeline as well as our finger tracking pipeline. But generally, because we're such a small team, we all have to wear a lot of hats. So I work quite often as a producer. I'm quite often in the suit, in the volume, dancing for testing purposes and for other reasons, and just because it's fun. But yeah, so to get down to it, traditionally with our facial capture pipeline, we would run, we use Faceware. This is for when we're using, when we're recording the data for later processing. Generally, it's the tools that they give you are really good for batching and editing, reworking a large amount of facial animation. But we found that with the live performances, it's much better to switch to the iPhone AR kit workflow. We found that the balance between getting good tracking data and performance really goes along that line. So for us, it's more important to be performant than looking, you know, a few missed shapes in the face, like if she doesn't capture a nice smile or something like that, as the performer would. That's not so bad as like missing frames or stutter, or if the face just explodes at some point because the tracking gets lost. This is this thing that we want to avoid as much as possible. And with the iPhone, not only do you have, you know, this, you can, you know, very quickly, if you point the camera at someone else's face, it's calibrated automatically, and you know, that's, for us, it's going to be super important actually in a future project where we're going to be using the same headset and passing from person to person. There's going to be no calibration or anything. So for us, this is the reason why we've gone down here. Of course, tracking doesn't really, you know, your tracking can be as good as possible, but if you haven't got a face rig that is calibrated to actually capture all that decent tracking data, it's still not going to look amazing. And luckily, like 6 months ago or so, we managed to, we got in contact with a company called ISCO. Big shout out to these guys. They provided us with some test rigs, and we managed to find that the rig works perfectly with ARKit. It just, you know, you plug it in, and automatically all the blend shapes are just working perfectly. With, again, with the iPhone, you can pass it around and someone's automatically puppeting her face. It's a really, really nice rig. And they were kind enough to produce the face rig that we use for Ali, our main character. And again, they hit that wonderful balance between quality and performance, with, you know, more performant being the thing that we're after, because live performance, that's the thing that really sells it. If there's no hitching, if there's no stutter, that's the thing that can really break the performance, really. But on that note, I might want to just quickly say that we're currently using this headset, which you guys might be a bit familiar with. Normally it's white. I spray painted it black because it was reflecting with all the cameras and stuff. But unfortunately, the fancy bit that held the iPhone broke. And so I'm currently holding it together with hairbands. So you can see that we run a really nice ship here. You know, it's super hot, top quality stuff. My shout out to the whole community at large would be, if you could suggest a decent headset that we can use, I would be eternally grateful. Something that holds in the iPhone, and ideally has a counterweight, because this iPhone at the front is like constant weight on the head. And the poor actress, she's been sitting in it for a few hours now while rehearsing. We did do a lot of rehearsal today. It's, you know, it hurts her neck and stuff like that. So for her sake, please give us some suggestions. And if you could post that in the forums, that would be amazing. Okay, my last thing was the Stretch Sense gloves, which are these things here. Can't really see because I'm wearing black. My chair is black and they are black, of course. Very gothic. So we got a message from StretchSense about a year and a half ago. A big shout out to Shin from StretchSense because she sent us wanted to know if we were interested in a test run. And then she flew all the way from New Zealand to give us a test run, which to me just blows my mind. And we were really impressed with the gloves, and we got a pair straight away, which we were super happy about. And ever since then, we've been, really impressed with the quality of finger tracking that we get. Soon we'll actually be getting their new gloves. They're super splay gloves, which we can't wait to get our hands on. Don't apologize for the pun at all. Finger tracking, hand glove. Yeah, anyway. Yeah, I need a drum kit or something, boom, boom. But the great thing about these guys is basically their customer support. These guys have been absolutely amazing. They, because they're over in New Zealand, if we've ever had any problems, they've had to stay up, stupidly late for them. They're staying up 9 o'clock in the evening, 10 o'clock in the evening. We're waking up with a coffee and they're like red-eyed and drinking Red Bull. But they've always been super friendly to deal with. So a big shout out to the StretchSense teams. Hopefully they're watching. Hi to New Zealand. Hi guys. You guys are awesome. So yeah, that's a quick overview of the peripherals that we use for all of our projects. And now I'm going to pass over to my wonderful colleague Mariam here. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the stream.
Okay, so I am the last one. The guys were talking so much. They say a lot of things, so there are not so much things left. I will talk a bit about the teaser and how it came to it. Yeah, first we had just the idea of having a simple teaser because we wanted to, as we were producing, as we're still producing the full thing, we thought on it takes a lot of time and we have to have a vertical slice of it to getting people interested. But yeah, so it should be simple because we wanted to spend all the work on the full film, on the teaser. So we came up with just a black room, door opens, and to the light rays, you see Ellie coming in and holding the container. So that was the idea, but yeah, I thought maybe we can push that a bit more. And I was just a weekend and was browsing through the asset store, and I found some really nice assets for it. And you all know how this ends. At the end of the weekend, we had the set for the teaser. On Monday, I showed this to the team, and even Niklas could not really say no.
Yeah, I was actually a bit mad at him because we were like, yo, we have client projects and all this stuff going on. We were like, yeah, I'm doing a simple teaser, just door opening, she comes out and that's it, just to show the body tracking and live stuff. Then I come back on Monday and just see a living organic planet. It's like, yeah, I thought we could show her collect the caterpillar that she has for the rest of the story. Like, great. Now we kind of have to do it. Thanks, Mariam, for making it. Again, really hard, but I think it was well worth it. I'm really happy we went that way.
Absolutely. I don't think anybody had watched just the Black Room. But in the end, yeah, we are here, no? So camera work. For the camera, for the teaser, we just decided on having a V-cam and just some small movements. And here we wanted to show the whole thing from the creature's perspective. In the main showcase, that's absolutely different because of we built the set more in the game way. So the full set exists, and Ellie is discovering it bit by bit. And here we can have it easy, and we can have it hard, and we decided to go the hard way. So we want to have a one taker. So the teaser, we have a very small set, but for the main showcase, the camera moves through the entire spaceship. In order to make that possible, with the size of our volume, we need some decent techniques, some smoke and mirror techniques, for film and theaters. But I think about these techniques we talk then in detail if the whole showcase is coming out, was released. Yeah, I can say that. Some last words about the capabilities of that workflows. If you have the full environment and all our tools are set up, it's totally easy to take the environment and make some playthroughs. Just the director and an actor or a stand-in, you can go to the whole scene, and you can feel the scene. I remember from an early stage of the story where we wanted to have a shock effect, and we just put up the scene here, and just we're standing in the volume and watching the scene through the VCam, and we saw the dark floor, and at the end there was a door, and just that was enough to giving us ideas to really setting the spark inside the brain of the director, and we came up with a really, really good and scary effect. So just thinking of just a storyboard and just rough ideas of the environment, it's really a lot harder to come up with some ideas of the story, or even to pitch those ideas. If you're directly standing on stage and you have the full environment around you, it's really easy to think of things that could happen in that stage, in that environment. Yeah, it's really a perfect fit for previews of movies and game cutscenes. So yeah, if you're thinking of game cutscenes, maybe. I think, yeah, that was it. I think, yeah, I will give over to Niklas again. For me, I have I've said it all. I think what I wanted to say.
Awesome. Okay.
Awesome.
Thanks, Mariam.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm not the big talker.
No worries. Cool. All right. Thank you. I think this kind of rounds up our first kind of look at this whole project. Maybe just to reiterate some of the points. And what specifically what Marian said is, I think, really important. This idea of being able to create a virtual set relatively easily, even if it's just a white box and two mannequin performing in it. It just helps you to block out scenes really quickly, to get the creativity going. And once you actually put assets in there, have the ambience audio in there and all that stuff, also for the talent, it's just a completely different experience. At least, for some projects, it definitely, I think, makes sense. Marian brought up game projects. We actually had a few clients now that we were able to, stream the data live to their location into their engine, basically, with the plugin we built. So this is, I think, a cool way to go about for remote shoots as well. And yeah, we're just really excited to be able to share this whole thing. Super interested to see what people are thinking, and especially what they think we can improve on. As I think I said earlier, we're obviously looking to improve in all areas of this thing. This is really just the start for us with this project. And yeah, if one thing I really need to mention is the credits for all the art that we got to make this happen will definitely be on our website at a later point. It's really important to me to give out the links and everything for people to be able to find these amazing pieces. Big shout out to all the artists. Stuff is amazing, and yeah, we'll post all of it on our website and in the final video. And I think for now that's it.
Cool. Are you all ready for a couple of questions?
Sure.
All right. Start from the top. Joe Judge 4GP instructor asked, what kind of play space do you recommend for a starting out space?
Starting out space for mocap, basically, I suppose.
Yes.
Yeah, really depends, I guess, on the system and on what you want to do. Obviously, you would think the bigger the better, but then if you're working with an optical system, of course, it's going to get pretty expensive very soon. There's different options to go. There's suits that are probably for beginners a reasonable alternative to an optic system. There's video-based solutions that are getting better and better, which are also, from a hardware perspective at least, cheaper. But I think the kind of volume size we have with 7 times 9 meters, if it's smaller than that, you have a hard time recording a lot of stuff like runs and multi-performer action. So generally speaking, make it as big as you can. And good luck finding a place with a 5-meter ceiling.
That leads into our next question from Rachel Tyrell. They asked, can you direct the actor live, and how many actors can you have in the scene?
Should I answer? Okay. Yes, we can direct the actor live, and we can have up to 5 people in the scene. But this is not what we have planned for Cargo. For Cargo, it's going to be a maximum of 2 actors at the same time, which is tricky enough to have them interact live and not blow out the rigs too much. So yeah, that's one of the main challenges actually, to make that work in the final showcase.
The next question comes from Danger Decks. They're asking, or saying, very impressive work, everyone. My question is, it looks like you may have cheated a number of things by having action take place off camera, especially involving the caterpillar. Do you think that the use of fixed cameras is necessary for achieving high fidelity productions as you're demoing here? And then follow-up is, how much do you rely on an assumption of a particular viewpoint when designing a production from a UX as well as a cost perspective?
Cool. Freiwillige. Yeah. So regarding the camera angle, okay, lots of things to address here. So did we cheat a bit? Yes, of course. Like the caterpillar, I think everybody who played a game at some point in his life, noticed these little tricks. The tricky part. Let's look somewhere else for a second. We try to avoid this, of course, and we try to not shy away from the more tricky bits. But in this case, since it's just supposed to be a teaser and it was supposed not to be too much work, which it absolutely ended up being, yeah, we tricked a little here and there. The static camera is definitely not necessary. This is a pretty crazy case because the cameraman is actually like ant size, and when it was tracked the whole time as well, Mariam was handling it while we were shooting. And in the main showcase, as Mariam was already saying, we are looking to have a one-shot camera following the protagonist throughout the ship, which is obviously hard to do because there's several rooms, but we only have one volume. So yeah, that's what Mariam was referring to. We have to get creative. And I think I forgot what the last part of the question was.
The follow-up was, I guess they were asking a little bit about the cost perspective around that as well, and I think that relates a little bit to sort of the size of your volume, right? I mean, you could go ahead and I guess have a capture volume for each room, that's taking place in the production, but that gets really expensive really fast.
Absolutely. Do you want to talk about that, Mariam?
Okay. Yeah, you can have, as you said, you can have a capture volume for every room, but I think it's not 100% necessary because of you in not every case you want to have a one taker, and one taker that's really the biggest problem for that. If you thinking on cuts, yeah, it's not a problem to restage the people in a cut. So then this is absolutely lowering the costs because of, yeah, you can have the smaller volume and so on. I think that's maybe answering this question.
Yeah, I think so, and I think
it's totally it's all about what he wanted to tell. It's about the story and about how you wanted to tell the story. And in every movie, it's like this. If I want to have practicals, if I show if there's an action, or if I do it off screen, that's a decision, and every movie happens that decision. So, and yes, you can, yeah, you can have a scene for much less money if you show something, if you don't show something.
And I just wanted to double down, Niklas, you briefly mentioned, but the virtual camera is actually tracked in real time and was operated by Mariam, right?
Yep.
Yes, that's correct. Right. And maybe to follow up on this too real quick, because I think the cost point is very important, and it's totally right to wonder about that. Obviously, to prepare all this stuff takes huge amounts of time, right? I mean, we are a very small team. We set this up with 3 guys, so obviously would take a bigger team that already has established workflows much shorter time. So we're hoping to do the main thing in a way faster. But we believe that this pre-production work is worth it because
Okay.
you kind of save it then in the end. You have this increase in pre-production. You really have to spend the time, block out all the scenes, know exactly what kind of events are going to happen and stuff. But everybody is aligned and they know what's happening. And in the end, in the post, it's hopefully just down to editing animation, make it that extra smooth and clean out the little mistakes. And this is the kind of way we're pushing for with this project.
Moving on. Me Straight asked, did you use any photogrammetry software for this project?
No.
Kevin?
No, the character that we got was an asset from the store. We had ISCO. They took the scan that we got from a company in UK, I think it was. We found this character that we really liked. We sent them the scan, and they rigged it all for us with all the blend shapes and all that stuff. So no photogrammetry, but we do photogrammetry here. We have a sister company called 3D Instagraph, sorry, and we do have a photogrammetry scanner that we have available.
Let's see, moving on. John Corbett asked, is the motion captured actor using a marked path in the room that is coordinated with your script? And do they have a director telling them when to advance?
In this case, we didn't mark anything because it's pretty easy for her to kind of navigate the set. We have set up like a small frame so she knows where the cave entry is. We also have a little caterpillar lying around there. That's kind of a target, that she focuses on. And yes, but for the main showcase, definitely, because we have, let me think, we have 3 areas in total, and each of them basically get a color. And we, yeah, there he is. Each of them basically get a color. So Amanda just needs to remember which level she's on, basically, because we're using elevators. One of the easier ways to get different rooms without leaving the volume. Yeah, so you answer your question exactly. That's how we do it. And yeah, sorry, I already forgot the second part of the question again.
Second part was just if there was a director directing them sort of when to advance and when to.
Yeah, that's something we are still working on. So with 3 people, now we're 4. Luckily, we got a backup with Orkun now, who's also working to merge all the stuff we're doing with the API and the web remote. What's it called? You guys
Remote
know
control?
what I'm talking about. Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. And yeah, that's obviously going to push things even more because the client is, it's way easier for him to handle all these events he wants to trigger on a tablet, for example, than, using Xbox controller. Yeah, and we have a director on set usually. We have an operator who's taking care of the input events. Mariam is doing a few things on his camera, for example, the focus and yeah, just switching from camera to camera if that's happening. So yeah, generally we have like a camera operator, an event operator, and a director who's more just taking care of the creative process.
Creatively, like it's all 3 of our babies. So generally when we finish a take or something like that, we'll have a quick huddle and discuss it between ourselves. Like, what do you think of that? Do you think it was good? You can do that, or can we do this way? But because we've been working together for such a long time, we generally have the same opinion, and then we sort of like tell the actress she's a pro, she's really good, and yeah, and also we've been rehearsing this for 6 months or so, on and off, because we've had other projects to work on. But yeah, so for this thing specifically, we're all kind of the director, which again, we're all wearing lots of hats.
BA03030 asked, what would an actual use case for something like this be? Is it really for live performing, or is this rather something that can be part of a production process for games or movies?
All of this, yes. Yeah, the idea would be to kind of, what I was trying to get across earlier is it's not about this particular package we're building. It's more we're building something, and then the tools we use to build that, you can take and apply into other projects, right? Some people might really like the high the interactive events, for example. Cool, you can take just that part and apply it to your project. You don't need to go through all the other necessary steps. Yeah, it's definitely useful for games, I feel, like especially if you want to do cutscenes and you just have everybody being their character they're portraying, and in an environment we use beamers and big screens so everybody can get a good idea. Obviously sometime in the future we hopefully be able to use AR for this, would be even sicker. And yeah, this is just pushing all the limits. And the main use case for the particular mix we're doing right now is actually virtual theater, I'd say. It's doing a performance that's full CG, get the tracking to work good enough that it works live, and yeah, be able to reach your audience through this new channel that is streaming.
Awesome. Danger Dex had another question. How do you design around clipping, specifically when dealing with characters' hands and fingers interacting with objects in the world?
Yeah.
Rehearsing. Lots of rehearsing.
There are ways that you could build a physics asset and have collision on them, and other means of using inverse kinematics as well. But with fingers, that can get complicated really fast, and you're also not getting the exact results, that you're receiving from the motion capture data.
Yeah, totally. No, there's definitely clever ways of doing it. I have to admit that's something we didn't prioritize so far. We tried in a lot of ways. We tried to design the whole thing around the constraints we have here. But yeah, definitely something I look forward to with the control rig, hopefully as a real-time solver on the horizon. That would be perfect. One of the perfect use cases for it to actually accommodate for these things and make it even more believable.
Let's see. Next question comes from Night Monkey Folkways. They were also wondering a little bit about the art and the 3D models and the maps. I guess in general, the question is how much was created in-house versus purchased on the asset store?
Pretty much everything is from the asset store. Like the three of us are not artists. I mean, the two of them kind of are, but not the kind of artists that you would need to create this super high detailed game assets. So yeah, all of it is from the store, and all of it, is great content, and we're really grateful for being able to use it this way and implement it into the project that easily, which also these kind of things used to be really time consuming, and now these days it's just so easy to look for something you like and use it for your project.
There was a note.
Just the last thing was the face was something that we did buy by a external vendor. That's the one thing that was not from the Epic store.
There was a note earlier about the scene that Niklas you're currently showing, that it would make for a beautiful wallpaper.
What?
Yeah,
This one?
noted.
Oh,
Noted.
cool.
We'll have some screenshots available as wallpapers. I think we actually have this exact, the kind of exact framing going with the caterpillar. Yeah.
Mhm.
Thank you. We're really happy if you like it. I think the credit here goes to Mariam for great lighting and great use of weather effects and everything. Yeah, just goes to show how much you can build with a small team.
Absolutely.
Go ahead.
Ready? No.
All good. Honey Bumblebee 79 asked, is it possible to buy a cargo session, like coming to your studio and play the character, get it recorded for home, or even better for greetings or gifts?
Yeah, I mean, I guess we have to think about that.
We all working for money. Yeah, right.
Yeah. No, I mean, sure. I don't see why not. Feel free to get in touch. In general, we would be grateful for any kind of ideas, feedback, criticism, especially if people would leave that in the Unreal announcement forum post. That would really help us out. I'm also trying to reply there as fast as I can. And yeah, absolutely. Let's get in touch, schedule something if you're interested. Why not?
Yeah. One thing maybe to add to this, cargo is just a showcase. So we just showed what's able to develop for us in that short time. But it's just the basic thing. And we really wanted to have directors coming here with their own artwork, with their own ideas, and using our tools. That is the idea of cargo. And yeah, you can buy a cargo session, or you can come over with your movie and doing a cargo thing, right?
Yeah, I think the thing is, like, we're the theater. You guys can come and fill the stage with your own story,
Ideas, right?
Ideas, exactly. We're just a stage
And artwork.
and the cameras. Yes, and artwork. Yes.
Yeah, there were a few more comments in line with that. If it's possible to get their own avatar into cargo, and what's really cool is if you're able to retarget, so I think with Control Rig, you could actually replace the character, even after it all has been recorded, right? So there are a lot of opportunities there to sort of customize. And once you've captured that and saved it in Sequencer, you can then share that project, and anyone else can actually replace the characters or the props or anything else that they would like to.
100%. Yeah,
Absolutely.
there's so much potential here, and this is also what I meant with autosave. Fehlt mir again. There's also the like what I was referring to when I said we're really just scratching the surface. Nothing of this stuff is like groundbreaking. It's really just combining all of this in a way that empowers creatives and devs to get stuff done, hopefully faster and hopefully with a lot more immersion and a lot more, eyes on the target, basically.
Yeah, one thing about the whole avatar creation, is the elephant in this room, is the once the MetaHumans gets released and we can get it working with our system, that's something that we definitely want to play around with.
Oh yes.
Oh yes, I think everyone is fairly excited about getting their hands on the creator. Few more general questions. I think something that I was curious about as well, and I saw a few questions in regards to input from the actors and actresses. How did you do the head visor?
Oh, you don't want to know. That's like the cheapest trick in the book. Is like she literally has a sphere looking out of her head, and there's another sphere on her finger, and on Collider enter, it opens, and I have a small fail check so it doesn't like all the time. But I saw today how I'm ashamed because I saw today that I actually use a lerp to lerp between both states of the visor when I could just have used an animation clip and play it back and forth. That's stuff you learn when you look at these projects that you worked on a while ago. I would do it differently today, but yeah, I generally, because I'm a fairly simple guy, I try to use the simplest solution possible. And yeah, luckily with the Unreal blueprints, even somebody like me who's not like an experienced coder or something, you can get amazing results really quickly.
With such a solution, you're reducing the amount of hardware needed, though.
If that's the case, then that was totally by design, of course.
Of course, just something to take into consideration. I think that was it. When it comes to questions, there's more questions in regards to sort of how can people, get to work with you guys. And so I think we'll point to your website, and there's a contact info on your website, right? We pasted that in chat. You can also find it on the forum announcement post on the Unreal Engine forums, which is where we initially announce all of the live streams that we do on the Twitch and our YouTube channel. I did want to go ahead and mention to chat as well that if you're interested in getting started with this kind of virtual production work, but you don't have the budget to invest in a large, optical motion capture space, you can get started by just using, VR hardware, since they basically fill the same role at a much lower cost. And if you're interested in that, I actually did a live stream in 2019 on how you can get started using sequencer and animation blueprints. It's called Indie Motion Capture. You can find it on in the Inside Unreal playlist, as well as it's on our YouTube channel. And if you really want to go back and see chat, you can scroll back in the Twitch directory from all of our videos that went live here. Before we wrap this up, was there anything else that y'all wanted to leave chat with today?
Yes, I guess I would really use this opportunity to do another big thank you, if that's not too annoying. I just really quickly want to thank all our partners for supporting us with this, the Nexa family, our friends at Friday, and of course Epic Games and you, Victor, for having us on. It's been a huge honor, and we really appreciate it. Yeah, unfortunately, we had like a slight setback with the first presentation, but that's just the nature of doing it live. And yeah, we're looking forward to show the rest of the whole thing later this year.
And with that, I think it's worth mentioning that our plan is to actually host the entire showcase sometime later this year on the channel.
Yes, I mean, if you would have us, we would be honored.
I would love to. Yeah, I think we'd love to see that. That would be great. So with that, we will follow up sometime later this year. We will see when, but keep an eye out on our Twitter channel as well as the Unreal Engine forums for more news in regards to that. Thank you all so much, and thanks to Amanda for sticking with the helmet as well as the iPhone and the suit. I've been in one. I know it can get a little bit sweaty. It can get a little bit uncomfortable. Try to sit down and you have a bunch of balls all over your suit. It can get a little bit tricky. So thank you all for coming on today. Before we leave, I just want to go ahead and mention that if you're streaming on Twitch and you'd like to watch and consume Unreal Engine content, make sure that you follow or look for the Unreal Engine tag that exists on Twitch. You can also look for the game development tag, and those two combined, you can filter out and find others who are live streaming Unreal Engine content on Twitch. We also have a page for our meetup groups, which you can find at communities.unrealengine.com. Clearly, no in-person meetups are currently happening during the pandemic, but you can go. Some of them have organized virtual meetups, and if you don't even have a meetup group close to you, you can probably shimmy your way in and find another virtual one that you can go ahead and participate in. If there is no meetup group near you and you're interested in starting one and potentially hosting these meetups once the pandemic is over, or even just start one right now, and then host virtual meetups, you can go ahead and fill out a form also at communities.unrealengine.com. It says become a leader, and we'll go ahead and get in touch with you. Make sure that you submit us all of the projects and also things that you're working on. We keep a close eye on all of our channels, but you can always add us on the forums or Twitter. There's a work in progress section. There's a release section. You can also find that on our community, unofficial community Discord, Unreal Slackers. You can find it at unrealslackers.org. Great space, and they are now over 50,000 members. Which is a great place to have real-time conversations. For anything... Apologize, my dog is getting a little antsy. Here he comes, wants to say hi to the world. I lost my train of thought there because I had a dog started barking in my ears. Make sure you follow us on social media for all news Unreal Engine, and as well as Twitch. If you're watching us on YouTube, make sure you hit that notification bell so that you can see when we go live. And with that said, I want to thank you all again so much for coming on. Thanks to Amanda and everyone else on your team for making this possible and for us to be able to consume it in real time. It's super exciting. Hoping to see you all back again later this year. I think everyone's looking forward to that. Yeah. I will say there were a couple of requests like, can you please show it again? Is there anywhere where people can go and actually watch a segment of the teaser?
Yeah, sure. It's great that you mentioned it. So we will put a video version of this online. This will have the old, like a character face that we used previously. So that's about the only change compared to what we showed today. Yeah, this will be available on our website. It's onpointstudios.com/cargo, but I shall also post it again in the Unreal Announce forum post. And yeah, hey, we're super happy to do other live shows, I think. I'm not sure. I have to ask Amanda actually how she feels. But yeah, I mean, great. We've put a lot of work into this teaser, and if we can show it again and people are interested to see other slight variations of it, there's a certain version of the teaser that exists that unfortunately we weren't able to go through today. But yeah, we'll think of something. We keep you guys posted. And yeah, again, thank you very much for taking the time to check us out. We really appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Oh, you're welcome. Next week, we have Sebastian Loos and some members of the simulation and training team from Epic coming to talk to us about simulation and training. So make sure you tune in for that. And with that said, it's time to wave goodbye. It's been awesome having you all here today. I hope everyone out there stays safe and continues to be excited about the future of Unreal Engine. Bye, everyone.
Bye. Thank you.